Okay, Jono, thanks for coming down here today to do the wicket-keeping masterclass for us. Just a few questions on basically the winter to start with. How's your winter been? What have you been up to? How's preparations for the season?
It's been a brilliant winter, thanks Dave. It's been hectic. I've spent 3 months in Australia, in Perth, playing cricket out there for the first half of the winter. And then for the second half of the winter, I've been back here training hard with the Warwickshire squad and getting ready for the pre-season tour to Barbados. So yeah, it's been great fun, but it's been a lot of hard work.
Excellent, excellent. What was where were you? You were based in Perth, were you over in Australia?
Yeah, I was doing Paul Terry Academy. He used to be head coach of Hampshire, so he's got his own little academy set up out there. There's about 8 of us, like young county lads out there, training for that. So it was great fun and really beneficial. So yeah, I'd love to do it again, to be honest.
Maybe next season you see yourself going back out to Perth?
Yeah, I'd love to. That's the aim. Obviously, a lot depends on how things go in the season, but fingers crossed if things go to plan, then I'd love to go back out there.
And in terms of your role as a wicketkeeper, what do you think the role is, and how do you think that people like Adam Gilchrist, Matt Pryor are changing the role of a wicketkeeper nowadays?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, over the last 10-15 years, I think the role of a wicketkeeper has changed dramatically. I mean, back in the day, you know, literally you were just a wicketkeeper. Your batting wasn't as crucial as it is now. As it's seen, you know, people talk about Adam Gilchrist, how he kind of changed the face of wicketkeeping. You have to bat. You almost have to be a batsman now, as well as a wicketkeeper. So I think that's how wicketkeeping's changed the most. Personally, I feel as wicketkeeping as a role itself, I think, you know, back in the day, the likes of Keith Pipers, Jack Russells, Alan Knotts, I think they're as good, if not better, than any of the keepers of today. But definitely the role's changed in terms of how much you've got to bat. And I think in every team, like all the wicketkeepers have these batsmen now where they're trying to open them in the innings. They tend to be aggressive batsmen as well. So yeah, that's how it's changed, I would say.
Yeah, sure. And in terms of your presence on the field, are you quite a vocal wicketkeeper? What are your thoughts on, you know, you see some wicketkeepers and they're always chirpy, there's other wicketkeepers that are a little bit quieter. What are your thoughts on that?
It does vary, obviously depending on what type of personality you are. Me personally, I like to make a bit of noise, but I wouldn't say I'm the loudest wicketkeeper. But I like to think it's such an important role on the field. You're almost like the captain of the fielding side. So, you know, it's not just about being loud. I like to think I drive my fielding team on by obviously how I keep, how tidy I am in the field, and also my enthusiasm and energy. I think that's just as important, if not more important, than just being loud itself. Being bubbly and, you know, showing energy around the field to the opposition and obviously to your teammates as well.
Absolutely. Obviously, you've been very lucky enough to work with and, you know, been coached by and play with some of the world's greatest players. But who do you think, out of all those, has been your biggest influence on your career so far?
I'd have to say there's 2 people I would say who have been the biggest influence. First one would be Keith Piper. Didn't get to play much with him, obviously, because he was a different era to me. But from the age of 13, he's been a big influence. He's been my coach. He's been my mentor. And yeah, I obviously can't thank him enough. Secondly, just as important, Tony Frost. I consider Frosty, you know, one of my closest mates now, and I do all my work with him. And especially over the last, I'd say, 3-4 years, Frosty, you know, has been the one I'd go to. So yeah, I can't, you know, I was fortunate to play with Frosty as well in club cricket at Nolan Dorridge. And also the back end of his career at Warwickshire. So yeah, I can't speak high enough of Frosty.
We've spoken a lot before as well. You've been away with the England set at different stages, and you've done a lot of work with Bruce French as well. He's really helped you along your sort of career path so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's another great guy who, at any time, I'll be able to bring up and speak to. I've done quite a few England camps, like wicketkeeping skill sets, which taken part at Loughborough. And last year, I was in the England C squad, which took a tour to South Africa. So I've done a lot of work with Bruce, and it's brilliant to have all these different types of coaches, you know, to go and talk to, because they're all different. But at the same time, you know, they've all been at the top of their game, and you can learn a lot from all of them.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's good set of people there to be learning from. Obviously, you've broken into the Warwickshire first team last season. Had a fantastic game at Lords with Warwickshire winning the CB40. What, out of all your sort of moments in your career so far, what do you think's been the highlight of it?
Definitely that game. I'd say that game by far. I mean, the whole build-up to it, the week before it, and the day before training at Lords, training you know, on the nursery ground next to it. Just the whole experience of the morning and having the food at Lords, everything about it, walking around the ground and actually walking on the pitch to a big crowd in the Lords final, something I've always dreamed about, and I'm so fortunate that early on in my career I've managed to do that, and also to win obviously was just unbelievable. So
there's a pretty steady stumping in there as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was quite an important part of the game.
Yeah, it was a nice little stumping to get Imranteer's 5th wicket, something I'll never forget. So yeah, couldn't have worked out much better, to be honest.
Okay, so looking forward to 2011. What's your objectives? You know, I know you've broken into the first team at Warwickshire now. What are you looking for this year? What's the plan?
Well, the plan so far, in a couple of weeks' time, we're going on towards Barbados for pre-season. So I don't think anyone really knows what the starting 11 for the first championship game of the season is going to be. So it's really crucial. But I'll have a good tour out there to really, you know, put myself forward for that first choice in the side. So that's the almost short-term goal, to have a good pre-season tour. And then for the rest of the season, really, when I get my chance to cement my flags and really do well and show what I can do at that level, and fingers crossed, play first team for the rest of the season.
Fantastic. Excellent. I mean, there's a lot of good wicket keepers around England at the moment. You know, the guys in Foster from Essex, Chris Reed from Nottingham, obviously Keith Vetter from Somerset. Pryor has got the gloves down, the test down the one-day arena. In your opinion, at the moment, who do you think's the best wicketkeeper in England? Best wicketkeeper.
Best wicketkeeper. Yeah. Well, I was going to say Matt Pryor. In terms of, he has improved so much. It's unbelievable. I'd definitely say I would honestly put him as the #1 international wicketkeeper in the world at the minute. Keeper out and out in the country, I still, as just a keeper, I favour Jamie Foster. I mean, I've done a bit of work with Foster, and he's just truly unbelievable. Yeah. And some of the things he does in the game are just incredible, and he's great to watch, and he's a great guy as well. He's always willing to chat about it. So as an out-and-out keeper in England, I would say Jamie Foster is the best.
Fantastic, that's great. Well, look, thanks for your thoughts today, Jono. Fantastic course, and best of luck for the 2011 season.
Cheers.